Welcome back, my quick crypto family and my coin factory family, back once more with another stream. Forgot what day is on right now. Been going strong every single day since the beginning of August. And as always, we've got some more news to cover in this video, in this stream. Truth be told, it's not as much as usual, but at the same time, in terms of Casper at least, because right now for Casper, the news is kind of all the same. It's about the imminent release of Krc20, which there are some updates regarding that, which we want to get into, but we've got other stuff to talk about in this video as well. Some other breaking announcements regarding the SEC, as you can see from the title. The SEC have effectively admitted that they were wrong about crypto, the way they've clarified it, the way they've been fighting in the courts of law time and time again about their justification for crypto securities. They were mistaken. And that's a very, very big deal for crypto and its future adoption coming forward. But as like XRP and Ripple, who've been fighting this case for a long time as well, is very positive for the development coming forward. So very, very big news all around. As always though, if you enjoy these daily streams, leave a like, share with your friends and subscribe for more. Eddie, my man, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you enjoy it. So without further ado, first things first, to get into the Casper news first, because it's the most, that's the Casper channel after all. So we've got some announcements here. This is just the Casper Media put out a post just talking about why, as it stands right now, we're in a potential for price discovery for Casper in the very near future. You can go through the article yourself. It's just on the Casper Media page, just going through the current analysis and what's happening for Casper right now. All in all, Casper standing strong in a volatile crypto market, which is understandable. Of course, it's still one of the few assets that actually is above Bitcoin since its launch. We can see if you compare Casper to Bitcoin since its initial launch, it's up currently right now about 121%. And I don't imagine. I think it's going to get even more than that as the market develops and matures more and more in the future to come. Moving on, we've got this. Casper have constantly expanding their adoption more and more. Obviously, we have Casper in China, Casper China, which is great. They've had a lot of alpha that's been released. They're very good at releasing alpha and whatnot. And now we've got Casper Japan ecosystem now coming to fruition as well. The KJEA. There's an AMA that happened very recently. Unfortunately, though, I am not Japanese and I don't speak Japanese, so much as I tried to pay attention to it, I don't know what it said. I listened to what parts I thought I did understand, because I do know small sentences, very small numbers of it, but I'm hoping that at some point in the future there will be someone who translates the TLDR of the AMA to get an understanding of what was talked about it, because apparently there were also alphas and stuff talked about in this stream, which I also want to hear for myself. But again, just once more showcasing the expansion of adoption coming to Casper across different ecosystems from China to Japan to different parts of Europe and also in the United States. It's growing more and more. Of course, the founders are from Israel, so again, it's just literally worldwide, all over the place, in the Middle East, everywhere it can be. Next thing we got up is more announcements regarding the Krc20 imminent launch and the preparation taking place right now to make sure everything is solid and sound for what's going to be coming out. We've got an announcement here from Casper Wallet. In order to help users test their own mainnet RPC, we will enable mint/deploy features today. Please notice that that the launch time of Krc20 on the mainnet is 15th of September, 12 PM UTC. Any mint deployment before this time is considered invalid. So you have to make sure that you're you switch and you're make sure you do it ready for the mainnet. This is just to give you a chance to test it out beforehand so you can be ready at the moment it launches. I'm sure the moment of launch is going to be very, very difficult. Very difficult to go through it all. It's going to be very, very volatile, a lot of volatility on the initial launch of Krc20, but all in all, I think it'll still be very, very good. We sent the first batch. Please check your address, try new features, and share feedback with us. We're trying to make sure everything's really, really fleshed out. And did a community version 0.6.36 is available at Chrome Store now. Again, just more showcasing more ways for Casper. At least it's not just going to be Casper, it's going to be many other wallets as well. You've got Caspian as well, another wallet, which I'm sure they're going to be releasing announcements very, very soon. But Casper right now are doing everything they can to make sure that the integration, this new relaunch, goes as smoothly as humanly possible, which is very, very good to see all in all. And leaving very optimistic for what's going to be tomorrow, the day where Casper makes history. It relaunches Krc20 and it becomes a even more increasingly dominant project. I cannot wait for that. Pulse Chain will moon as it has a lot of issues with the SEC. I have a look at Pulse Chain for you. I mean, Pulse Chain, Ripple XRP, there are many, many projects, which I'll get into also in this stream, that have had and the SEC have been tyrants in this space all in all. I mean, right now Pulse Chain's down. It launched the beginning of earlier last year. It's down. Don't know much about the project. It's $500 million market cap, so it's a mid cap, only on Mexi in regards to big exchanges. So it's not a project that I really look into right now. I don't know much about the project. It's got a decent sized market cap in that regard, I guess, but it's not got the exchanges that I'd like to see the adoption. So I'm not too optimistic about Pulse Chain in that regard. But in regards to your sentiment, in regards to your comment, many different crypto projects and exchanges everywhere, every part of the crypto industry has struggled against the SEC. So the news, all in all, is very, very bullish, as it means that, you know, institutions that may have decided to settle the SEC for unfavourable results could potentially now relaunch a lawsuit against them, because their understanding of what classified as security or not, they didn't even know what they're talking about. So I have to, you know, we'll go through that in the stream, so don't worry about that. But all in all, yes, very, very big news to see what's happening with crypto and that confirmation with the SEC. Make sure your Casper wallets are up to date in preparation for. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Master's on point with that. Make sure everything's up to date, everything's prepared for the Krc20 relaunch. Good evening, Muscle Mike. Welcome back to the stream. Yo, Leroy. Hopefully you're feeling better now. Welcome to the stream once more. And yes, we can use AI also to translate the streams where we can. And yeah, I will do my best to try and do that if I can. I need to make sure I can listen to it and translate it if I can, but it can be a bit complicated at times. Sometimes it's better. I mean, obviously, yeah, if I could speak Japanese, it'd be a godsend. I do plan to be learning languages at some point in the future. Just because I also think it'd be quite fun to try and do, but it also would help in these sort of elements of things as well if I could learn to speak Japanese. But yeah, if you can translate it, anyone who speaks Japanese can translate it, then please, by all means, let me know, because that'd be amazing. You can turn it into English with AI, I know, but if anyone can do that, that'd be amazing. A lot of people and KOLs calls are ready for Krc20. It's going to be very interesting, to say the least. Yeah, 100%. It's going to be a very interesting release time. Going to cause a lot of adoption coming to Casper, no doubt about it. On the initial launch with meme tokens coming through as well, a lot of them launching either hours later or maybe a little later on, but pretty much at the moment it launches, meme tokens are coming on straight away. You've got announcements like this, you know, Casper that goes to Casper is going to be set to launch 3 p.m. UTC, so 3 hours after the relaunch of Krc20. So a lot of these meme tokens are coming in straight away almost. We're going to see most likely a massive volatile shift. Now keep in mind as well that there's no guarantee that all the meme tokens coming through are, you know, sound and solid. There might be some of them run by bad actors, so you've got to make sure you look at the code, you make sure you take your own due diligence and do your own research. Some of them look very, very promising. The two most popular ones right now I've seen is stuff regarding Casper, that goes to Casper, and Nacho, the two that everyone seems to be, you know, speculating the most about. Of course, there's Goad as well, people seem to be talking about, but those two are fair launch proof of work from what I know. Casper that goes to Casper and Goad and Nacho. And I even had information through my Discord server, which regarding regarding these meme tokens and their launch and what's happening with it. So all in all, very, very big news for what's coming very, very soon. And tomorrow's going to be a day to remember, there's no doubt about it. Tomorrow's stream is going to be very interesting, I'm very, very sure. Wonky was the host in Casper Japan space today. Casper was talking to, maybe they were discussing the integration of Casper into Wonky Wallet. It's very possible. I know Wonky was the host, yeah, it's very possible, and I'm sure there'll be some alpha, maybe some project they'll talk about in there as well, which might, you know, mean tomorrow might be even bigger. We know there's going to be an AMA tomorrow as well, following, I think it's half an hour after the Krc20 relaunch. There's meant to be another AMA, I think, also with Japan again. We might have to double check with that. I think I retweeted that. If I didn't, then Mr. Mars is going to come at me again. But there's going to be another AMA very, very soon. So once more, here you go, yeah. So that's not with Japan. It's with the KEF itself, half an hour after the launch. Well, actually, it's 12:30 p.m. where I'm at BST, so maybe it's not half an hour, maybe it's a little late afterwards, but ultimately, yes, it's going to be another AMN tomorrow, following the Krc20 launch, which would be very, very cool. Hopefully there'll be more exciting stuff dropped there as well, which we can't wait to hear about, so make sure you check in. I'll be doing so as well as I can, and hopefully be talking about it in the stream tomorrow. Can you at some point show us how to make Casper memes? I could potentially do that. If I get around to do it. I have in my, again, shameless plug, my free Discord server, a step-by-step guide that was put through by the Casper Guru, which I'll showcase on screen right now. here, the step-by-step guide right here to showcase on Casper how to mint your meme tokens. So if you follow along with this guide, you'll get all the understanding of how you need to do it. So that's in my Discord server, again, free of charge. So you can just go and check it out for yourself and get access to information so you can follow along with it and make sure you do it all correctly. I would always recommend, if you're doing it, make sure you do it with spare assets and do it for a small amount first to make sure everything's correct. Don't just do it with your actual Casper holdings or, your whole bags that you want to put into it. Do a small portion first to make sure it's safe and then go from there. I'll be keeping my ear to the ground for this new US exchange listing, Casper, but it's been dead silent since the teaser. Yeah, I can agree. It has been quite silent. I've been trying to look through news forums right now, and all over Twitter where I can. I've been trying to look through it, but I have not seen anything else. I am hoping there will be an announcement very, very soon. Very, very soon. I think we're going to hear an announcement quite quickly. The way it's going about, I'd like to believe it's going to be announced. I mean, I can't say for sure, but the way that they announced it in the alpha, you'd like to believe it's going to happen. Again, they did say September or October, so it could be this month, could be next month, but I'd like to believe it's going to be sooner than later. Once we get the announcement, of course, it's going to be very, very big news, I'm sure. Because again, it's just another way for US citizens to get access to Casper, right? It's just a very, very big announcement in my opinion. So I'm sure going to hear about it soon enough, Mr. Miles. And the moment I do know about it, I'll be making a video about it and put it probably in my streams as well. And just bring the information to you where I can, and I'll try to do a deep dive into it as well. So I'll find out more about it. Don't worry about it. We need a theme song for Did I? Yeah, as the Discord continues to increase and improve, and the channel in itself, I'll end up getting some hotkey binds, I'm sure, which is just going to be a thing of like, did I retweet that? Just like how some other content creators have their own. I know, like the Crypto Galaxy has its own just do it thing, which I mean, no comment, but. I'm sure I have my own did I retweet that, because I say that every single stream. I also get Mr. Miles bullies me as well, because that's going to be another one to retweet a lot, because you always bully me. Toggle Delay, welcome up my man, welcome to the stream. I assume Tangent Wallet automatic update to Cas20 tokens. I don't have information on that right now. Truth be told, I'm sure it should be fine. I mean, the Cas20 tokens I think is something else in its entirety. If you say you've already got KRC20 tokens and they're in your Tangent wallet, then I think it'd be fine, and then you have to send it to your to the KRC20. Like go onto Kasper, and then you'll be able to do that. I'm sure someone, I mean that's to my recollection. Someone else might in the chat might be able to help out here. But I think I think you should be fine. Tangent is in very close ties with Casper, so I'd be surprised if they didn't support whatever's happening. But again, I'm sure we'll hear announcements about that. I mean, it's coming out tomorrow. Sure, be fine. I can do a quick search for you to see if there's anything I can find quickly. But as it stands right now, I can't say for sure. Okay, looking through what I'm seeing, for the most part, it looks like yes, Tangent Wallet should automatically update to support Cas20 tokens, so that is fine. Again, it's understandable if that is the case, considering that again, Tangent aren't very close ties with Casper, very, very close ties. So yeah, to my knowledge, it seems that they will be supporting this this token release, which would be very, very cool. And then there Mr. Moss also puts it in here that there are YouTube tutorials for minting Cas20 tokens as well. Again, I showcased that there's a step-by-step guide here. It's also in my Discord server, so if you need a video description, there's already tutorials for that. So I can make one personally, but at the same time, if they're already out there, then maybe it's worthwhile checking those out instead. Not saying I'm being lazy, I'm just saying if people already put the hard work in to do that, then maybe it's just worthwhile you checking them out. Smash, oh yeah, there you go. Toggle Delay, as always. If you love these streams, I'll be doing these daily. Smash the like button, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. I'll be doing these dailies, and I'll be doing it tomorrow as well, following the release of KRC20. Let's look at the time zone. If it's 12 p.m. UTC BST conversion, so it's 1 p.m. where I'm at, so it'll be releasing at 1 p.m. for me. So my streams go live at 4 where I'm at, so it'll be 3 hours later. So I will definitely have some information, I'm sure, regarding the Kas20 token and Kaspa Krc launch. and also therefore that means we will see we'll be seeing the AMA. Therefore, the AMA of this Casper thing will be half an hour before the launch of KRC20, which equally very, very cool. So yeah, all in all, that is what is going on my screen. Okay, I had to pull that out later. But anyways, yes, that's all very, very cool. Which do you think will be the first to list Casper, Coinbase or Kraken? I think it'll be Kraken. Purely for the fact that Kraken have openly announced and confirmed they have secured a spot listing for Casper, and Coinbase has got connection to Casper very much so, but they've been very, very quiet about it. I think it's a lot more likely we'll see Kraken come first than Coinbase. Much more likely. I'm thinking about renting some Casper hash rate for the next few days. I mean, do it, my man, if that's what you want to do. What opinion on Casper price with the upcoming FOMC meeting? Okay, good question. Good question. Me personally, I know I have there's difference of opinion here. Difference of opinion between Mr. Miles and me in particular, but I think the FOMC meeting is going to be on the 18th, 4 days from now. And I have posts here as well. Fitch says Federal Reserve will opt for slow policy easing as there's still work to do on inflation. So that'll probably be 25 BP or 0.2%, and they'll be done periodically up through the next 12 months. JP Morgan have a much more aggressive stance on this matter. They believe there should be a 1 percentile rate cut leading up to November elections, with there being a potential for a 50 or 0.5% cut this week. Now, other banks are stating it'll be a 25 basis points, so 0.25%. So JP Morgan seems to be a lot more aggressive on the stance that there'll be heavy rate cuts, where everyone is kind of saying it'll be a little bit minimal. So there's still a lot of speculation and confusion in regard to severity of the cut, so to speak. But regardless of the fact that crypto is now making this sort of like comeback right now. In September right now, the month actually has not been as bearish as people predicted it would be. September 1st being here, and we are currently on Casper's chart up 5%. I do believe that we will end up seeing some corrections in the price following the Fed meeting. If it's 50 basis points, so 0.5%, I think we'll see a relatively heavy correction, a very heavy correction. Not sure, again, I can't predict how heavy, but I think it'll be close to a crash, so I expect to see some 10% corrections in the price if you see something as heavy as a 50 basis points. So 10% would be, down to at least 15 cents Casper. I think that's possible. If not, maybe a little bit heavier. If it's 25, it may not be that bad. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm sure the markets will portray what's going to happen right now. Again, we can see signs of, like right now, the markets are definitely in a bit of a uptrend, which I do believe is just temporary. I think it's just to calm before the storm, before the corrections followed by the reversal. But the S&P 500 has now added $1.8 trillion of market cap back over the last week. Nvidia's up over 15% this week. And S&P 500 just 1% away from its all-time high, which is insane considering the current situation of the market. Up 4%. But then at the same time, the Nvidia CEO, Jason Huang, continues to sell his stock on Nvidia. Why? He sold another 25 million worth of Nvidia shares, total of 78 million over the last week. He now sold a share worth $700 million in the last 3 months. Now, the way I see it, right, the video seems to keep on rising, despite that the CEO continues to sell his stock. Now, the reason why Nvidia keeps on rising, in my opinion, is the fact that Nvidia, due to the fact that they create chips and whatnot, there's currently a rising demand in regards to like AI. AI is growing more and more, so Nvidia, therefore, being in that tech space, will be able to generate and just push out AI chips and GPUs to continue this surge for this new shift in technology. So I think that's why Nvidia keeps rising, because again, the growth of AI is helping that out as well. But the fact that the CEO keeps selling stocks, to me, tells me that he's possibly preparing for correction in the market. Now, there might be other reasons for it. We don't know the true reason for it, but considering that's what Warren Buffett did as well, I like to believe that it's considering leading up to potential corrections in the market right now. So that's a very, very roundabout way of just saying I think the price for Casper and crypto will probably see a correction leading up and following, or more so following the FOMC meeting and the announcement of rate cuts. The heavier the announcement, the more severe the rate correction will be. and then we'll see the full, like at that point then there'll be little to no, roadblocks in Casper's way. All we're waiting for therefore is regulations, which are being pushed out more and more. We saw what happened in the United Kingdom already. Casper's going to have KRC20 out, stablecoins coming to KRC20, meme tokens already launched. They'll have this new exchange listing, a tier 1 coming soon after that, I'm sure, as well, with like a Kraken. You've got 10 BPS, you've got more tier 1s, you've got other projects that are going to be built on KRC20, you've got what the KII are doing with Casper as well. Again, it's just more and more developments, and I'm currently going through the process of listening to one of the most recent Casper Roundtable to hear what was spoke about, and then, which is kind of the same roundabout thing about, Casper being the next form of money, the next Bitcoin, so to speak. But I'm pretty sure there was some big information. I want to listen to that as well, and make sure to tell everyone about that and give a TLDR again in my free Discord server for those who want to hear about it, because I think it was very, very big. I'm going to quickly link that in the chat. That was a mistake, but oh well. Free Discord server right here once more. My mouse is bugging out today. Oh my days, it's actually doing my nutting. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna have a fit. My mouse is. I need to get a new mouse. I need to get a new mouse so badly. It's actually doing. It's jarring me so badly. Oh my gosh. Okay. Anyways. Okay, I think Tangent is working on KRC20, but not on yet. Okay. Well, again, there seems to be speculation about it right now, but again, the bottom line being, considering that Tangent is in very close ties with Casper, like they work very closely together, I'd like to believe that they probably are supporting this, but we'll hear more about it very, very soon. And if not, then it'd just be a case, I'm assuming, of just moving your KRC20, whatever you have, from Tangent to the Casplex, and then I'll do it there. I mean, you're joking, Mr. Mars, you're a joker. I learnt it from Harry Potter and Monty Python. Okay, well, interesting. If you see a 50 basis points, I'll be more worried, but if it's 25, I'll see bullhorns, yeah. I think regardless of the announcement, I think we'll see corrections, but 25 won't cause as severe as a correction than 50. 50, again, the fact that JP Morgan are very adamant on the fact that we're going to see 50, and even then stating we'll see 1% or 100 BPs by November, that's kind of worrying. For me, it's quite worrying that they're so adamant on that. Maybe they're just trying to spread FUD for the sake of it, but who knows. But if it's 25, then yeah. If it's 25, then I think we'll see a minute correction followed by bull run. But if it's 50, I think we'll see a much heavier correction in the market. We are primed. If we don't break an all-time high, 30 cents on the table, where I set my target for double my bag. Yeah, you know what? I'm not against that. Especially if it's 50. If it's 0.5% correction in the Fed rate cuts, then I would not be surprised to see us come back down here. It's a possibility after all. Or around like this region here. But now, anyways, Casper is king. You know it. Casper's history of going against markets, and it may not matter for the rest of the market. Yeah, exactly. I mean, Casper, again, you can see evidence of that just here alone. This here is the market you need to look at through one of the worst bear markets in history. When Casper launched in the peak of the bull cycle, one of, if not the only crypto project throughout the whole of this cycle to continue increasing in price. So, yeah. I noticed swapping into the Tangent wallets is cheap. I mean, yeah, I'm not. I mean, that's why Tangent's so good. It's not expensive, when you're swapping your tokens back and forth, and it's also how you keep your crypto secured. That's why people tend to turn to Tangent. I use Tangent because that's what they're good for. Keeping your crypto secure off the exchange is your key, so it's your crypto. You go from there. Don't be like the guy who waited for 0.4. For me, that's why. For me, when I'm going into Casper, I have these zones. As you can see, these green zones here, where if Casper comes back down here, I'll probably buy a small bag, another small bag here. Come down here, I'll buy a bigger bag. That would be a very big bag. But I'm not going to just wholeheartedly wait for it to come down there and just miss out on cheap opportunities to buy Casper. You DCA into it. That's what I do. I DCA into it based on the research I've done and where I think Casper's going to correct to. If it's 25, I think we might see Casper come back down here. Like, if it goes down further, great. But otherwise, I'm not really sure. Can you do a Gordon Ramsay impression? Imagine the show of him judging crypto projects with the same passion he judges food. Mr. Marsh just wanted me to do impression all the time. You asked me to do the Liverpool accent last time as well. Let me get into the news first. I'll entertain you a little later. entertain that it's raw Gordon Ramsay maybe a little later on. It costs $4.20 to keep Solana in your wallet every 2 days, just to let you know. Well, there you go. It's too expensive. Like, I mean, Solana's not too bad, but like, Tangent, I like Tangent. I think Tangent's a very, very good place. Continue with holdings, but if I get a chance to become a shark, I went past it. There you go. And if it's like 10 XRP to open up your ledger, I mean, XRP right now is in a very unique position for the fact that they also just recently got a trust. Grayscale opened up an XRP trust, which is also rising speculation that there's going to be the lawsuit coming to an end very soon. So it'll be interesting to see very much. But in continuation, anyways. We got this announcement as well from Casper, just talking about the fact that the release candidate 1 has been released. Ultimately, just again about the Rusty Casper version of 0.15.1, and of course already spoke about the Krc20 as well. The meme token's coming out very, very soon. So all in all, right, tomorrow is just going to be a very, very big day for Casper. Krc20 launch is literally less than 24 hours away now. It's very, very exciting, and I'm sure we're going to see a lot of FOMO flown to Casper. Right now, if you look at Casper's volume on CoinMarketCap, is at just short of 40 million. I suspect at the launch of Krc20, it's going to probably jump quite drastically. And then we'll see. I mean, again, if you look at just the CoinMarketCap right now, suggesting the community sentiment is that it's very, very bullish right now. Very, very bullish. So again, I'm not surprised. Casper's just in that position right now where I think we're going to see a lot more, from here up. And we've already spoke about, the sentiment in the market right now, what's happening, and where I think it's going to go. And we're seeing, again, increased sentiment that the market's in a very, very good position. Right now, a whale bought 1,062 Bitcoin worth $64 million on Binance very, very recently. So we're seeing increased adoption and, holdings of Bitcoin. Central banks bought a record of 483 tons of gold in the first half of 2024, and the price is now breaking new all-time high. This is, of course, very, very important for those who've been watching my channel for a while. You will remember, again, a post that I also put in my free Discord server, which I've linked again in the chat, that JP Morgan, again, one of America's largest banks, spoke about there going to be a commodity bull super cycle. Ultimately, gold and other precious metals are going to soar in value. And the rate cuts are also going to help in that soaring of value. That's why banks have been accumulating gold for so long, for years and years now. And this actually coincides with the potential growth for crypto, considering that the new monetary system is meant to be backed by gold with blockchain technology. The fact that the rising of gold is seen as investors, especially institutional investors, hedging their bets, seeking safety away from fiat as it's collapsing. And every time there's a problem with crisis, inflation, uncertainties and whatnot, people tend to shift to gold. And with crypto growing in adoption, and regulations being enforced soon enough as well, crypto might also be seen as a hedge against inflation as well. And again, gold making new all-time highs. Bitcoin maybe will be the next, making an all-time high at $100,000 very, very soon. I suspect we will see that. I don't think we'll see it this year. If we do, great. But I think we'll definitely see it 2025. If we see it this year, fantastic. I'm not saying it's not possible, but I would be surprised. Very, very surprised. Are you thinking of supporting Casper Punks? 100 Casper gets you name on the white paper and an NFT, I believe. Currently, no, Adam. I don't plan on supporting that. I'm currently just holding my Casper and just covering news about the project. My whole investing strategy as it stands right now is researching into other projects that I deem that I want to trade into. I might get a little bit. I might use some of my excess funds to get a little bit into some Casper meme tokens. But for the most part, I'm just holding Casper, holding it and holding it and holding it, and DCAing where I think it's time, and then just talking about the projects, the updates coming with it to keep you all informed with crypto and market sentiment, and also with Casper as well. It doesn't charge Casper or any other coin rent, just Solana. Interesting. I wonder why that happens then. If we go back down there, I suspect a flash crash. I'm not telling everyone wait. I mean, yeah, if Casper did go back down to, if you go back down to that 13 cents level, that would be the same as like this low here, 12.5. That was a flash crash, and that happened when the Japanese yen was rising against the dollar, which, speaking of which, it currently is right now. I know I retweeted this one yesterday. Where is it? I spoke about the Japan. Yeah, so here you can see the US dollar has hit 9 months lows below 141 versus Japanese yen. So when this flash crash happened in the market at the beginning of August, this was a result of Warren Buffett selling half his stock in Apple, with the Fed not cutting rates compared to the rest of the world, and also the Japanese yen rising in value against the dollar. Right now, still doing that much, hence why we need the rate cuts, I believe. But if there was to be capital to correct those sort of lows again of 12.5 cents, we could potentially see another crash and maybe further continuous downtrend momentum. So I have to wait and see. I mean, ultimately right now we can all speculate, all talk about where you're going to think it's going to go. I mean, Mr. Miles believes it's more likely going to go up. I believe it's more likely to go down. But neither of us are financial advisors. We're just stating our own beliefs based on research that we have done. And all in all, I think we're still going to be, regardless of what happens, it's still going to lead into what I believe to be a very, very bullish Q4 for crypto, and especially for Casper. What's incoming for Casper is going to be very, very big news. And very few people are willing to sell Casper at 13 cents. That is also true right now. I mean, I think I do still like to believe that if it's 50, again, if it's 0.5% correction, we might see Casper come below this. But I still like to believe that this is the bottom for Casper and crypto in general. Like crypto, I'd be surprised to see Bitcoin correct further than 50k. I'm not saying it's not possible, but especially that Bitcoin's now pushing to 60k right now, with the FOMC meeting so close, I think we'll end up probably seeing Bitcoin at most come back to 50k, but we're not surpass that. No need to unload. Oh, okay. Okay, well, just talk about. I've always stacked silver and gold. It's not an investment to me. I hate government insurance. I mean, yeah, I think there's a lot of sentiment behind holding, you know, commodity assets. There's a lot of sentiment behind holding them because they don't. I mean, that's the reason why a lot of these are, you know, institutional players will normally invest into gold and other form of projects that, other form of like commodities like that, because they can also use that as a way to, you know, dodge whatever taxes and stuff they're trying to avoid. Although saying that they're trying to introduce taxes right now, so I'm not sure how well it's going to work out now. If it was an exchange pumping the price of Casper to 20 cents, wouldn't it be hard to get above it without a listing or more? If it was an exchanges pumping Casper to 20 cents, wouldn't it be hard to get above it without a listing or more exchanges buying it? Good question. I think right now Casper pumps to 20 cents. I mean, if the exchanges were the one pumping Casper that high, then it would be harder in that regard for Casper to go above it without more listings or exchanges buying it. But I don't think it's exchanges that right now that are the ones that are pushing Casper's price up. Right now, I mean, previously it has been, and then it's been FOMO following that. But right now, this price push, in my opinion, is the FOMO from the KRC20. It's not from exchanges. And with the launch of KRC20 and, you know, the stuff following that, the projects following that, the potential exchanges and coming out, it just ultimately is a lot of FOMO right now generating for Casper that I think when it does retest that all-time high, that will be the breakout time for Casper. And yeah, I hit the like button, have you? Exactly. Do you not hit the like button, then why are you here? I'm joking. But yeah, please, by all means, hit the like button and share with your friends. It helps out more than you think. Gets the name out there for everyone to see more about Casper, what's incoming. But now, I've you know, waffled for long enough. Let's get into one of the main headlines for this video then, before I answer more questions, which is the SEC, Gary Gendler, admitting that they were wrong, that they were mislabeling crypto tokens. This is one of the headlines of the century, or at least of the year. Like, it is a massive announcement, a very, very big announcement, and it's honestly more important than people to give it credit for, I think, right now. Obviously, it's mainly covering Ripple and XRP, considering they've been the ones that have been fighting this lawsuit for so very long. But in that regard to what the SEC has stated, the Ripple case is effectively over. But to me, it's not just Ripple's case. It's kind of the SEC's lawsuit, their fight against crypto is effectively over. And the fair notice of defense is still alive for others. A lot of these institutions like Coinbase and Ripple had this fair notice defense, which they were rejected by the SEC. But if anything, arguably they could combat this and, you know, go against it and declare another fair notice, because the SEC evidently don't know what the whole crypto asset securities really are. Basically, the SEC cited a 2017 DAO report as industry notice that crypto asset securities are subject to US security laws. That's what they've been using the whole time. But 7 years later, 2 days ago, the SEC apologizes to a federal judge for the confusion it invited by using the inherently unclear term. So the whole time they've been fighting against crypto, majority of all of their lawsuits, they've been quoting this report from 2017 that crypto asset securities are subject to US securities laws, all of them. But now 7 years later, they're saying, oh wait, we may have been wrong about that. And now lawyers are waking up to that. Jake Javinsky says, I'm in shock. I didn't know it was even possible for gaslighting to be at this extreme. They're gaslighting to the courts of law. Do you know how mental that is? Like, it's not even funny. It's just stupid. How can... They're meant to be protecting investors, you know? And there's nothing but lie, nothing but harm the industry. And they're gaslighting people. They're just hypocrites. Gaslighting the American public is bad enough. You know, Paul Grewal from Coinbase. But the US state government misrepresenting themselves in the court is another way that I've not seen it in ages. And in their very first paragraph, they literally claimed XRP itself is a security. In the very first paragraph of this document here. But yet, they've also then quoted saying, the SEC regrets any confusion it may have invited by falsely and repeatedly stating that the tokens themselves are securities. You know? I'm like, this is obviously, again, mainly covering Ripple and XRP's case because it's currently the biggest lawsuit event that's happened in the last few years. And it's been ongoing for 3-4 odd years. But it's just crazy to me to think that, you know, Gary Gensler and the SEC have now come out saying, oh yeah, we might have caused confusion, we are wrong. But in that regard, and that's been the argument they've been using against most crypto assets, most securities, most exchanges, most institutions, most companies. And they're now saying, yeah, it's not actually what we believed it was, it's wrong. So for me, I just, you know, sit back and laugh. I'm like, okay, cool. He's a tyrant, he's a clown, I knew that already. But for me, that's also very bullish for the crypto industry. For XRP, I think that's why XRP is up 2% on the daily time frame right now, following the Grayscale Trust, XRP Trust, and potential ETF launch following that. But for me, it's just bullish for crypto. Because again, it's showing that the SEC and Elizabeth Warren were the two main front runners for stifling the innovation of crypto, for holding it back. Elizabeth Warren's gone quite quiet recently, as she seems to be on her way out. She's currently in a battle against a man called John Deaton from Massachusetts for being the senator, and John Deaton's very, very pro-crypto. He's got a lot of support right now. And I mean, Gary Gensler, you know, he's currently under investigation, which I think is funny, for his political favoritism in the courts of law. He is now also told the federal judge that they were causing confusion, that he's basically being a hypocrite. So I think, yeah, I think Gary Gensler's on the way out as well, which will end up seeing a new age for crypto and more adoption coming through as well, which again, I cannot wait for. And just in time for regulations to come in the United States, for Casper to get their own stable coins, for Casper to end up... Yeah, Casper's currently coming to its own with its own block DAG, its own platform. And you're seeing a lot more development coming in. The KRI helping very much with Casper in its growth as well. And now we're going to see the roadblocks that were there, that many industries have been fighting for years and years and years. Casper's going to be able to come in just as they're now going away and just ride this wave up. Purely based on their own developments and their own technology, which is superior by all means. So I'm very, very happy to see this announcement. See Gary Gensler finally just... it makes me so happy. It does, really makes me so happy. And I can't wait to see how this unfolds and what happens to Gary Gensler coming forward from that. So yeah, ultimately in that regard, you're seeing a lot of crypto, you know, in some bullish uptrend right now, ahead of the FOMC meeting, gold going higher and higher. There's still speculation on how heavy the correction will be following the rate cuts. But ultimately this week, this day in particular, has been very, very, you know, good for crypto. Despite the market not seemingly reacting in the same way, kind of up and down certain assets, I think it has been quite a bullish day for the crypto space. And I think now the main cause of the news, the main thing driving the news right now, again, it's just the Fed meeting. For Casper, it's not, because we've got that KRC20 coming out in, well, doing the maths right now is about 19 hours until the KRC20. So yeah, I think we've got a lot more incoming. And Casper's going to be one that's going to probably be one of the last ones to start correcting. But then it will also be one of the first ones to start pumping up again, I think. When can Casper beat Doge on hash rate? Anyone have a prediction? I don't. Currently right now. But I don't think it will take that long. In the sense that I think Casper right now, Casper's hash rate is seemingly stagnated a little bit. Stuck around 1.1. It's been around here for a little bit. But again, we had announcements. Again, shout out to Mr. Miles for the scoop about Oklahoma opening up a new mining area purely for Casper. Marathon seem to be getting more and more involved as well. Bitcoin have their zero fees mining pool. We're seeing more and more miners release. I'm pretty sure that Ice River, actually I know I mentioned this yesterday as well, that Ice River are going to be launching a special Krc20 launch for a miner for their launch again. So we're going to see increased adoption coming to Casper, hash rate rising higher and higher. And as Casper gets these projects to the Krc20 and more adoption coming through it, as ultimately once Casper ends up getting the adoption, which will help through tier 1 listings and all the other projects they've got going, the hash rate will start going parabolic once more. I'm not too worried about the fact that it's been stagnant for the past week, really, because as you look at it on the month or even look at it the year, it's gone in the span of beginning of July, so 2 months. It's gone from 366 as high as 1 EH, 1.1 almost. Well, actually, it's surpassed. It's all-time high. I think it's at 1.14. So you look at it from the span out, you can see how slow it's been, and then started going parabolic, more volatile. And I think we're going to continue that momentum going forward as the KRI get more involved and they start becoming an integral part of the renewable energy sector with mining Casper of renewable energy. I'm sure we'll see again. The KRI retweeted something regarding the fact that Casper can solve issues in the energy sector and used for like renewable mining. Here, this post here. So Casper can become a transformative tool in this sector for solar power. Imagine using solar power to mine Casper. How amazing that would be. Render 2, but only on Solana. Is on the CH20. Anything on ETH network is free on Tangent. So ultimately, Tangent is great and supports certain projects, but just not Solana. Solana's a problem, and it costs a fair amount of Solana to do it. But I use Tangent, and I use Tangent mainly to hold my Casper. That's my biggest portfolio. I've got other assets as well, but it's mainly just Casper, and Tangent's been very, very good to me. So I definitely recommend getting a Tangent wallet if you haven't got one already. Did you see the interview of the Kas founder saying he was selling 1 million Kas at 35 cents? I did not. Buff link. If you're in my Discord server, again, shameless plug, please by all means link it, because I would love to see that and analyze it for myself. Casper founder in being, Jonathan Sobolinski? Or Shai or Michael Sutton? Jonathan Sobolinski is, I guess, the real founder. So you're saying that he was the one that said he's going to sell 1 million Casper? If he did so, then please by all means let me know. I want to see that. Exchanges buying it took Casper to 10 cents. Everything past that has been from other sources. There you go. So it's not just been Casper. It's not just been exchanges. It's been the community itself. And right now, if you look at the wallet address of a Casper, the diversity is pretty good. Seeing at 409, almost 410,000 again holders for Casper. It's already risen back up to, where it was about a week or two ago. And we're seeing increasing in whales and sharks all around in the last 24 hours. Even dolphins, less in that last hour we've seen a decrease, but in the last 24 hours we've seen an increase. So it's building up as more and more, and I'm sure we're going to see this number jump quite drastically. We're going to see this at 500 sooner or later. No doubt about it in my mind. We'll see it at 500 sooner or later, and we'll see Casper continue to grow from there. Silver is $30 per ounce. I have a monster box of silver, the worst investment ever. You get wrecked on the mining cost. They really discount that They really discount that when you sell. We talk about silver now. I'm not gonna lie. I'm very confused. I think I maybe misread the question, but I'm very confused right now. Casper is way better investment and much lower fees to move in and out of the assets. Precious metals. Okay, so we are actually just talking about silver. Okay. Apologies for that. Yeah, I got very confused. Yeah, I think Casper, as it stands right now, is one of the most profitable investments in this space. I'm not saying it's going to have the best ROI in this space, because there'll be micro cap tokens that will have a 100x in this market. There always are. But in terms of like projects that I would say are quite stable or like reliable or it's decentralized, so the chance of there being issues with it is minimal. The chance of there being a rug pull is very, very small. So I think Casper is probably ideally one of the most sound investments in this space. Why I'm invested into Casper, and why despite we see correction in the price for Casper, when he saw this massive correction here, I wasn't worried at all. If anything, I was happy to see that. Gendler knows what crypto is and he'd be doing his job. Yeah, that's actually what I've been speculating for a while. I've obviously not stated very much about that because it's an argument that people don't like hearing. But I think Gary, you've seen interviews with Gary Gendler when he worked for MIT talking about Ripple and XRP and what their inherent job is, what they're trying to do in the space. Yet then he decides to sell them, to sue them as XRP is apparently in security. Yet he's one of talking about it being, the next big thing for. I mean, this is what he said, and it being one of the next big things for cross-border payments in the future. So I do believe that Gary Gendler, his role in this space for the past 2 or 3, 4 years is allowing America to catch up, because a lot of the other countries around the world have been trying to look towards crypto tech for a long time. Japan's ahead of the United States, United Kingdom ahead of the United States, Dubai, like other parts of the Middle East. A lot of these countries around the world are ahead of the US. So Gary Gendler's done his best to try and keep the price low to let these investors and institutions stack up while it's still cheap before it all just explodes. It might have done. In fact, you know what? Now you mention it, I think it most likely has done, considering that there was an announcement, which again I got notified through my Discord server, that Casper is the second best proof of work in terms of attack cost factor. I don't know where Dogecoin is on this, but it's now deemed as the second strongest proof of work in terms of attack cost right after Bitcoin. It's surpassed Litecoin, and this is from early August, so this is quite a while back. This is when it was at 750 PH, where right now it's over 1 EH. So I don't know where to find this. I'll have to look up and find it for myself, but I would have believed that Casper's already the second strongest proof of work in that regard then. Good day, Bees, my man. Welcome back to the stream. Hope you have a very good Saturday. I'm curious, with this SEC announcement, are we going to see lawsuits against the SEC for both damages to specific attack crypto projects and for legal cost defending against the SEC? You know what? It's a good question. And I'll leave you with a thought process, because think about it this way. Much as the institutions can do that, the SEC are a government agency. So if they do that, it's taxpayers' money, right? So if people launch lawsuits against the SEC, and they're losing time and time again, that's going to just effectively hurt us more. No, I might be mistaken in saying that. I might be wrong. If I'm wrong, let me know. But I would like to believe that's what would happen. Ultimately, I think it'd be for those who have outright lost and had a lot taken from them, they might decide to relaunch a lawsuit to get their standing back, so to speak. But I would like to believe that for the most part, a lot of the industries are kind of like, we're tired of the SEC. Let's just get this lawsuit out of the way. They've made their lost call. Fine, we're just going to roll over them now and just ignore them. That's what I'd like to believe, but I might be wrong. 10 BPS, yeah, I cannot wait for 10 BPS. Q1 2025 is going to be a very, very big deal. Wow, many questions. Okay, let me try and find the most important ones. Doge has 1.25 pH total hash rate according to CoinWars. Well, then it's definitely, that can't be right. Yeah, it can't be right. But Casper's obviously at 1 EH, so it's much higher. Oh, you believe it was Shy that said that he would sell 1 million Casper? If he does, then fair enough. Get in his bag, I guess. But I'm not too worried about that, considering the diversification of Casper, and I'm assuming he'll just be selling a portion of his bag, not his whole bag. But again, if you have the proof of that, then please by all means link it in the Discord server so we can all check it out for ourselves, because that's some important information we need to know. I'm a whale and won't start selling my Casper until 95 cents and DCA up and out until $3. Yeah, I think that's a good strategy. That's currently, I currently hold Casper. I plan to sell around $1 and then $1.50, $2, $3, and so on and so forth. I think Casper could have the potential to reach $5 in this cycle, if not higher, depending on the announcements. We'll have to see where the market develops with exchange listings, with the KII, with KRC20 and the stablecoins launching on there, and Casper's own stablecoin, and so on and so forth. Okay, so Casper's at 1 EH, Doge is at 1.2 PH. Okay, so that's apparently what it is. Well, I'll make sure to try and find that research myself in due time. I will try and find later today. Love your voice. Thank you very much, Buff Link. You're a legend, my man. Thank you very much. And thank you all for joining the stream once more. As always, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more, because I'll be doing this daily. And yeah, tomorrow especially, make sure you tune in for tomorrow, because tomorrow's going to be a very, very big stream, I'm sure, with all the KRC20 buzz. Probably see announcements constantly just popping up on my homepage, so we can constantly refresh and just see more and more coming about it. I mean, right now, doesn't seem to be... Yeah, right now we've got the update about the migration to the new Rusty Casper version. So now a majority of them, and we can see it on the actual thing itself, majority of them are now mining on these new nodes. That's probably the reason why we saw this massive, correction, this massive dip in the hash rate on Friday. But then it came back up due to the fact that now the miners have come back onto Rust properly. Still go through the questions. I think I've caught up to them now. Most people just talking about gold and silver still. There's no way Doge has a bigger hash rate than Casper. Does anyone know any miner farms that focus on Doge? I mean, yeah, to my knowledge, it's only Bitcoin and Casper. Those are the main two proof of works talked about. I don't even hear about Litecoin talked about anymore. Casper's overtaken Litecoin anyways. Wow, Mikey, my man, once again, you are an absolute legend, my man. Thank you very much for the $20 Canadian donation. You, again, every time you do that, you make my day. So again, I couldn't thank you enough. You're a legend. Thank you very much. And again, I'm hoping you most definitely tune in for tomorrow's stream when KRC20 is officially launched to the public, relaunched, and we see this massive, well, I'm assuming massive explosion in volume for Casper. We'll see a massive explosion for volume when the KRC20 is relaunched. And the FOMO coming to Casper is going to be amazing, so make sure you're here. And again, thank you very much for the $20 Canadian. Thank you very much, my man. You're welcome, Leo, my man. Hopefully, again, you're feeling better, and welcome to the stream. And we currently now got 10 minutes left of the stream, so I know Mr. Miles is going to try and bombard me with questions right now. But yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to let me know. That's the majority of the news, I believe, that's covered for today's stream. Just about the lawsuits and stuff, and the imminent stuff coming for Casper as well, which again, very, very big. This mouse, oh, I hate this mouse. You know when you have your mouse share, I've got my mouse and you click on it, it just double clicks. I'm at that stage now with my mouse. Every time I click, it just double clicks, and it really gets on my nerves. I need to get a new mouse, man. It's actually, I was gonna break it. Welcome to the stream, KJI. Do you think 10 BPS force a lot of projects out of the space? I think Casper in itself is going to force a lot of the projects out of the space. Casper KRC20 of 1 BPS, the technology it already has, in my opinion, will allow Casper to steal liquidity from many exchanges. Litecoin, definitely, being just 2 spaces above. I think it'll definitely take over Litecoin. It'll do the same for Chainlink. I mean, it'll take liquidity from many of these major exchanges, in my opinion. Even Ethereum. 10 BPS will just do even more so than that. And then eventually, when we end up getting smart contracts, it will then, in my opinion, have the chance to flip Ethereum. So I would like to say that KRC20 in itself will help Casper, force project out of the space. I mean, there's a big speculation, a big sentiment, right? That as the market matures more and more, and it also was mentioned in the roundtable that I'm currently paying attention to, that I'm currently 4 minutes through. I'm going to listen to more of it in a moment once the stream goes. But there's a sentiment right now that that many projects in this space will end up becoming obsolete, becoming mute, because the market's going to mature more and more, and those that are not offering a use case or ones that aren't as good as other ones will end up just being thrown to the side. So right now, Ripple and XRP is one that's got a lot of ground in the financial sector, cross-border payments. But as Casper grows more and more, and as technology becomes more and more developed, there's a chance Casper could just take over all the projects, including what Ripple and XRP are doing, and just dominate the space. So, yeah, I think we're going to see increased. I think Casper going to take over a lot of the projects out of the space. And in the future, when there's not many cryptos left, and only the main ones that actually offer something, Casper will be one of those ones that I think are standing. As long as the launch does not crash and burn, it's still in beta, so we have to allow it to do whatever. If it crashes again, oh yeah, if the KRC20 crashes again, then yes, we're back to the drawing board. We'll have to wait a little bit longer. But the reason why this is just speculation, but the reason why I'm optimistic that it won't do that is because the first time round, from the poor launch, was just the KEF team. This time round, with the relaunch, you've had the core developers getting involved. That didn't happen last time. The core devs are now getting involved, and this time around they've properly they had the idea. I mean, we don't know how long it took, but I'm pretty sure the KEF was announced, and then they had the Krc20 announcement and launch like a month after that. And then they've taken 3 months to get everything up to speed, get all of it fine-tuned. They stress tested it for 2 months. And they had the core developers involved. So I'd like to believe that this time around it's going to be an actual successful relaunch. Again, we have to wait and see. But I think that we will end up seeing a much better relaunch from here going forward. Bitmain has dropped the price of the KS520 miners to $3,500. Going to be another hard run on Casper network hash rate coming soon. Well, again, more reasons to be bullish on Casper. The miners are dropping in price, meaning more people are going to be able to buy cheap miners. I think it's just a price tactic. It's a tactic to get the hash rate rising more and more. And even then, they're still making profit from these miners right now. And in due time, these miners are going to start making profit themselves when the price of Casper ends up breaking above this region of 20 cents and start increasing in value. I think we're going to see more, momentum for Casper coming very, very shortly. So I mean, there's been no confirmation in that regard. The only information I have is, again, as I mentioned in my stream yesterday, I'm just getting my smart contract thread again in my free Discord server. Shameless plug once more. In this research and development chat on July 9th, 2024, you had Jonas Belinsky and why is jeez man, my computer's bugging out, all technology is bad. Yes, in this research and development chat, Jonas Belinsky hashtag mentioned in this chat, I think around the 30-minute mark or so, about the fact that they're going to start working with their own smart contracts, making their own native smart contracts, and the fact that it takes at least 18 months to do. That's from July, so that would therefore mean there's a chance we see it late 2025, if not early 2026, but it could be till 2027. We have to wait and see. We don't know yet. There was also the announcement that followed that more recently here and here from the KEF, which seemed to speculate that we could potentially see smart contracts sooner than expected. The novel smart contract design, the research is not finalised. It's too early to get into any concrete plans. But for implementing smart contract on an L1 is a ZK opcode adapted to DAG. The design of it actually is complete. And this narrow primitive can take, in principle, just a few months to implement. So as much as it's still in development phase, in principle it's done. But they're just trying to do the research to make sure to finalize the research to make sure actually they've not overlooked anything. And the KF also then announced that in Q4, so starting next month, or in that last quarter, so next month, they will facilitate the implementation of the DAG adaptable ZK opcode for the smart contract, endorsing the stack development of generic smart contract led by Crypto Aspect. So that's in regard to the smart contracts. So there could generally be announcements coming sooner than we think, which is very, very big and allow Casper to definitely take liquidity from these other major projects, which I can't wait for. I mean, Casper will just dominate this space. Does Krc20 buy the Casper devs time to build the best smart contract in the market? Possibly. I mean, Krc20 in itself is already game-changing for the fact that it's just on such an incredibly well-fleshed-out technology. They don't need... I mean, Casper having smart contracts or later just dominate the space for more, but it's not like they need smart contracts. But they're doing it because they know it'd be helpful for them to help other, developers build DEXs on the chain. Can you explain that Krc20 is smart contracts? No, it's not. They're two different things. Krc20 is a token. Smart contracts is something that allows you to build like stuff on the chain. To give you a bit of a more you give a bit of difference between the two. Sorry, I kind of zoned up. Difference between the two. So the Krc20 and the smart contract, they are closely related, so I understand the confusion, but they do serve different purposes. The Krc20 is kind of just a token, but the smart contracts are the programmable contracts, if that makes sense. So Krc20 is the token itself. Smart contracts are the program contracts that can be used to create Krc20 tokens to interact with them. So Krc20 is like the final product. Smart contract is what allows you to create, Krc20 tokens and other form of, projects on the space, if that helps. So they aren't the same. But they are. I understand the similarities with them. Okay, I'm just going to look for more questions. As I'm now wrap up the stream, pushing the hour mark. The Ant Miner L9 just landed this week. also announced addition to Bell to merge mining and see with Doge. Oh, I mean, that's quite... I mean, ultimately, we're just seeing more and more adoption with the mining right now, which is good to see for Casper, and it's growing as proof of work as well. KRC20 was a surprise to the Casper team. They had no idea it was being made until it was brought to their attention. Oh, there you go. I mean, again, I think that's the reason why, because they're working on smart contracts, which, as you can hear, as I just mentioned, they're kind of the same thing. Smart contracts and KRC20 tokens, they're close, but they're not the same. And obviously now the KRC20 got launched. They're like, okay, let's take action to make sure it's really, really good. And they're making their own smart contract to make their own, I guess, form of different tokens, I guess, in the future. Do you think we will have to increase our gas fees to up to 7 Casper per 1 mint for minting coins tomorrow? We'll find out more about that tomorrow, I'm sure. One thing that I do know is that if you want your tokens or coins or whatever to come through to you quicker, then you can increase the amount of fees you pay. So I'm not sure how much it will cost, but I'll find that all out tomorrow. But to my knowledge, I'm pretty sure you can actually increase how much gas fees you want to pay to jump the queue basically and speed up the process. Which means that that's also very beneficial for whales and stuff. So whales who just have an unholy amount of Casper or whatever, and they want to just they want to get their money to them very, very quickly, they'll put more for the gas fee. They don't care. They have money to burn. So it kind of, it facilitates everyone. Supply and demand will force prices down. We'll see faster price drops on Casper than any other ASI because the intention mission halving behind Casper. Yeah, Casper will have definitely more discounts for miners because, again, the aggressive emission schedule of KRC20 means that there will constantly be less and less supply while the demand will continue to increase. So it'll be more of a reason to get a mining Casper. Okay, now we're going for the last question before I wrap up the stream for today. Now that Casper is in the billions market cap, only Intuitive and biggest exchange could 5 exit. I disagree. I mean, you're not wrong. Actually, you know what? You know what? No, you are kind of right. In a sense, you are kind of right because right now the two major catalysts that I look towards to decide where Casper is going to go is the tier 1 listings and also the institutional adoption with the KII. So that is true in that regard, but also, again, keep in mind, Casper's adoption-wise for the retail market is very, very small. This market is now entering into an institutional zone, but the retail market is still very, very small for Casper in regards to the fact that it's still got no tier 1s. The tier 1s will help in getting a massive surge of adoption with Casper, but then the retail, we want to drive that, and then the KII will help in different forms of, use case for Casper and more price and rise in demand for Casper going forward as well. But then, anyways, with that being said, look through the last questions. That will be most likely the stream wrapping up for today. As always, thank you very much, everyone, for joining the streams. And once again, thank you very much, Mikey, for the dono. You're a legend, my man. As always, if you're doing the stream, leave a like, share with your friends, and subscribe for more. And make sure you tune in for tomorrow's stream, same time as always, 4 p.m. BST, 12 p.m. EST, 9 a.m. PT, and 11:30 in Australia. We'll be talking most likely about the imminent recent updates covering with the KRC20 launch that'll be happening about 3 hours before that. I love your channel. You consistently put out videos every single day with great content. Guys, subscribe and like his videos. He's amazing. Thank you very much, Nick G. You're a legend, my man. And also, if you want to learn more about crypto and market sentiment, then please feel free to join my free Discord server. It is currently on the screen right now on my homepage on my channel, also in the description and also in the chat. Talk about Casper, of course, but also about market sentiments, helping try and analyze the markets where we can, and also trying to talk about more about crypto projects as well, expand our horizons. We're getting into that stage more and more every day. So if you have other projects you want to talk about, let us know. But as always, thank you very much for joining, and I'll catch you all tomorrow. Peace.